What happens when one of the world's most important trade routes starts running out of water? It sounds impossible, but that's exactly what happened in the Panama Canal. This 80-kilometer shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific handles around 6% of global trade carried by sea, electronics, cars, food, fuel, raw materials. For more than a century, it has been one of the most important routes in the global economy. But here's something most people don't know. The Panama Canal doesn't run on seawater, it runs on rain. Every time a ship passes through the canal, giant locks lift it up and lower it down using fresh water from Gotten Lake. And every crossing sends around 50 million gallons of fresh water out to sea. Normally, tropical rainfall replaces what the ships use. Then the rain stopped. A severe drought pushed water levels in Gatun Lake to some of the lowest levels in modern history. Suddenly, canal authorities faced a difficult choice: protect the lake or keep global trade moving. They chose to protect the water. Daily ship crossings were cut from around 38 to just 24. Waiting times stretched from days to weeks. Some ships were forced to carry less cargo, others were forced to wait, and some had to take a much longer route around South America. For a waterway that helps connect the global economy, this was a serious problem. So why does a water shortage in Panama matter to the rest of the world? Because when ships cannot use the shortcut, everything becomes more expensive. Fuel costs rise, shipping costs rise, delivery times increase, and eventually those costs move through the supply chain and reach consumers. The effects may begin in Panama, but they do not stay there. Now here's the surprising part. The rains eventually returned, water levels recovered, and today the canal is once again handling more than 40 ships a day. At first glance, the crisis appears to be over, but the real problem remains. The canal still depends on rainfall, and the long-term solution, a massive new reservoir project worth more than $1 billion, will not be completed until the next decade. Until then, one severe drought could create the same problem all over again. And that reveals a larger issue. Modern trade does not depend on the hundreds of routes. It depends on a handful of critical choke points: the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal, and the Strait of Hormuz. A problem in any one of them can affect economies across entire continents. The Panama Canal survived this crisis, but it exposed just how fragile the global system can be. Because one of the world's most important trade routes still depends on something surprisingly simple: rain. If you want clear, simple explanations of global events, geopolitics, and the world economy, subscribe to Global Analysis Point. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next analysis.